Joey here is the Critical Missourian, where I talk about everyday life, about Missouri and beyond. On today's subject, I want to talk about the Supreme Court and very interesting, and it's just kind of making me wonder what's going on with the Supreme Court. Anymore, the biggest problem I have is how politicized that the Supreme Court has become. I mean, everything is at the whim of the political party and at control, and I'm beginning to wonder if some of their decisions are being influenced from the outside by the heads of the political party. Even though theoretically they're supposed to keep separate from the other branches of the government, that doesn't mean that they can't be influenced. I just read an article just recently that kind of alerted me to a problem where there's a lack of code of ethics within this Supreme Court, and they could accept gifts. There's no law saying that they can't accept any gifts, which kind of becomes a problem. Who's to say that someone can't unofficially bribe a Supreme Court justice to rule in favor of a certain case, which calls into question the whole situation? I am really weary with the circumstances. I mean, a funny thing that I'm wary of is how the Supreme Court can influence policy across this country, and the thing is, it can also contradict itself or change the policies of the nation from one policy to another. Just recently, everyone knows about the recent overturning of Roe versus Wade. And if you look at it from this perspective, back when that ruling was enforced, it made it legal for abortions to be happen. Now they've contradicted themselves and said no, that's incorrect. I mean, once you make a ruling, you should make it fine. It should be final, and that's the definition of the law. Or it needs to be sent to Congress to have the laws redefined and further clarified. I mean, the Supreme Court should not be the ones that define policy of this country. That should be in the hands of the Congress. And that kind of, like I said, there's just some things about the Supreme Court that just really has me a little concerned. I mean, like I said, the fact that they can take gifts and not risk being influenced is a biggest problem that we have and should be addressed. So that's something I would impress that everyone do is look for, try to influence Congress to do a reform on the Supreme Court. Even if they have to initiate a amendment to the Constitution that defines the code of conduct that each justice must abide by, and the serious penalties for not abiding by it. I would support such amendments to our Constitution. Otherwise, in summary, I think it's time that we really consider reform to our Supreme Court for the good of everybody, and make sure that not too much power is flowing into their hands and they are not doing the job of Congress. So anyhow, I hope you like this video. Catch you on the next one.